Get ready for Real Talk with Pasha B in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you for tuning into this episode of Real Talk with Pasha B. Today we're going to be talking about exes and some issues that surround trying to get past the people that used to be in your life. Sheneka, she's here joining. Hey, Sheneka, how are you?
Good morning, Pasha. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I missed you, girl. It seemed like just yesterday we were hanging out.
We were together
having breakfast
yesterday.
Yeah, just yesterday. But I miss you, girl.
Okay, it ain't even been 24 hours. I miss you too.
I know. She's like a sister to me.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't like you that much.
Oh, stop. But we love each other.
We do. But Sheneka was late again.
So we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Anyway, moving right along. We have two special guests with us today.
I liked it, though.
Anyway, we have two special guests with us here today. One of our guests, Miss Sylvia. Sylvia, this morning time, so I'm going to say good morning. Good morning, Miss Sylvia.
Good morning, Sheneka. Good morning, Pasha.
Good morning.
Good morning. So Sylvia is actually one of our fan favorites. She's been following us for quite a while.
She has. She's a dedicated fan.
And we invited her to come on the show, and she accepted. So welcome. Great to meet you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love meeting people who stay with us through the thick and the thin.
Y'all tickle me to pieces.
Great. And we also have James with us today. Hi, James.
Hi, Sheneka.
No, you're not going to do this today with this voice now. He's not going to do it.
Y'all don't want me to do that?
And the Lord said,
let there be light.
I was giving y'all my radio voice.
You was.
I can dig it.
Okay.
I can dig it.
Thank y'all for having me.
Wonderful to have you here. We met James at a taping.
PBS, right?
Yeah, GBS.
Georgia.
GPB.
Oh, we all wrong. Here I go. GBS. Georgia Broadcasting Festival. And it was GPB. And that's, break it down for us.
Which is Georgia's PBS station.
Yes. So Georgia Public
Broadcasting.
Yeah. And then
it was a James Baldwin premiere.
Was it?
Yes.
It was.
I Am Not Your Negro.
That's where we met.
That's where we met.
And you and Pasha and Courtney were cutting up.
I remember now.
Cutting up.
I think me and James was cutting up.
All of y'all were cutting up. That's what drew my attention to y'all, the cut up.
Absolutely.
Let me
at the James Baldwin
premiere. Right.
Yes.
I remember it was something controversial.
It was.
Yes. For some reason, I thought it was the premiere of Little Women because that was also something serious. But you're right. Because we all had words for the dude at the end.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
And the guy with the rainbow socks. But we're not going to talk about him.
I don't want to do the identifiers. He going to know we talking about.
Right. He may be listening. Who knows?
My bad.
He knows he had on those socks.
He did. He was wrong. He was strong and wrong.
He was, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
But today we are talking about a couple of topics. As I said, we're talking about can you or should you remain friends with exes? How about just dropping them all together? So how do we get over our exes? And if you decide, should you give them a second chance? Okay. So how do you guys feel about society or people that you know, or maybe even yourself, the ability to get over an ex?
I think friendship is a beautiful thing, no matter if it's someone you were in a relationship with, if you were not in a relationship with. But I think people need time to heal, especially if they've been hurt. And we live in this society where people want you not to feel anything. If someone hurts you or does you wrong, get over it. You have to show this strong front. And they don't understand that you hurt from that. You have to still grow from that before you can reach out and be someone's friend or accept them back in your life. But the world wants to say, if you don't do that, you're big mad. And I think we need to move away from that. I don't know who raised these people, but
who raised you?
Yeah, it's detrimental to our society. It's detrimental to social media. It hurts our personal growth. So I would say friendship is good, but time to grow is better.
Okay.
Speaking from my own experience, I was married, had a child, and my marriage failed. And I had to, in the midst of my hurt and in the midst of my mourning, I had to learn how to be cordial to my ex-husband while still raising our son. Because where he sucked as a husband, he was a wonderful dad. And so I had to put my own hurt aside, put my own mourning aside, and say, Sylvia, suck it up, because you still have a child to raise. And years later, because we divorced, I was 35. So it's been a little over 10 years now. But we're the best of friends now. I can call him right now and be like, I need your help. He'd be like, okay, I'm here. And he has a relationship with someone else. Him and his girlfriend live together. You know, me and my current, we live together, but we're still able to be friends. But it took a minute. That pain is like nothing. I would have rather somebody, can we curse? I would rather somebody whoop my ass in the street than deal with that.
Because you can heal from that.
Yes.
And
let me
that
put some
fast.
ice on my eye.
Right.
Let me put some Bengay on this hit that I fell on. But you can't, your heart does not work like that. And I loved that man for a good portion of my life. We started dating when I was 20. Got married when I was 26. And were divorced by the time I was 35. So it was a lot. So you were exactly right, James. Friendship is great in theory, but you got to take that time. Good Lord. Woo.
Sheneka, anything?
Nope.
Oh, no, come on. That pause lets us know there's something.
What was the question again?
How do you think people deal with the topic or the issue of trying to get over an ex?
I think for most people, there are a couple things that need to be factored in or that they factor in. And I guess one may be time in. I think a lot of people have, I don't know if it's the correct terminology, is attachment issues, detachment issues, but like codependency, you know, and even if relationships are toxic, they hold on to those relationships. I don't know why. I don't understand. But I do think once some people reach maturity, and it sounds like there was a maturing process you went through as well, Sylvia, in addition to a healing process of separating the husband from the father.
Exactly.
And understanding that he may not be good in this role, or maybe that the time was up, you know, because what's that?
Reason, season,
yes,
situation.
People are here for a reason, season, or
lifetime.
Yeah. You know, and understanding that maybe that season is up. And I think a lot of people can't get past themselves and their selfish wants and desires to even get to that point of understanding. So I really think it all depends on the nature of the breakup. If children are involved, if there are any other type of like business relationships or anything else, or just maturity and understanding maybe our season is up.
Right.
And moving past it from there.
For me, it was one of those situations where I had, just like you said, reason, season, lifetime. I had to adjust myself because my lifetime with this man was not meant to be in the role as his wife, but my lifetime with him was meant to be in the role as the mother of his son. And so I had to adjust and adapt. And people tend to, when you talk about breakups, people tend to want to throw that word, especially with us as women. Oh, you're bitter. Hell yeah, I'm bitter. I've built a life with this person. I'm mad. But then you have to get past the mad. You have to get past the hurt. You have to learn how to live by yourself again. It's like you're learning to walk differently, and it's hard. It's like going through rehab when you've been in a car accident and your legs are all jacked up and you have to learn how to walk again. That's what it feels like. You have to learn how to walk again.
And when we talk about trying to get over someone or trying to move on from a breakup, what I'm noticing is a lot of people don't even know why they broke up with the person that they've broken up with. And we live in this time where people don't like to work on themselves. Like, you take me as I am. If you love me, you love my flaws, you love my mistakes, you love my shortcomings. Look, what you're doing, it hurts me, it bothers me. Can we work on this? Can we change this? Because then they feel that you're attacking them.
Right.
So by the time you get to the point, or they get to the point, because it could be you could be doing something that's bothering them. They get to the point where they can't deal with it. you're getting a text message. Hey, I've moved out. I've taken my stuff. They've unfollowed you on Twitter. And so you don't even know what happened. So now you have to backtrack. Did I do something wrong? Is it something that I could have done that I didn't do? And you never know. So when you don't know why you broke up with someone, that lengthens the time it takes for you to get over them, because you have to go back and look at every scenario. Was I wrong? Was she wrong? Was he wrong? And if I don't know who was wrong, it's hard for me to fix it. And so that's why a lot of people are walking around upset, bitter, taking shots at the people that they were in relationships with, because they're trying to get some reaction. Tell me what went wrong. Tell me why you left. Or I left because I never got a chance to tell you about the issues. And so you just can't move on. And I hate that we're in that space right now.
So is everybody aware that there is a kind of a cycle to a breakup? It's like a grief cycle?
I'm not aware.
Okay.
No.
So some of the things that we actually talked about, grief comes in different, I guess it looks differently, and it comes with different masks. So you grieve relationships, you grieve people, you grieve losing things. It's loss. Grief follows loss. So some of the things that we talked about, and James, you just actually brought up, which is people kind of get stuck in certain parts of this cycle, especially if they are not aware of what happened, the why, the closure, and things of that nature. So one of the things I think we need to be aware of is the grief cycle. And the first part of the cycle is denial. Okay. So put yourself back in a place or a time where you may have broken up with somebody or something, right? And you're going through the fact of thinking, did this actually happen? Right? Denial gives your heart, going through this cycle, it's actually an automatic response to unwanted news, no matter what that news is. Like if you lost a loved one, you kind of go through, depending on how the circumstance of the situation happened, you go through denial for a little bit. So everybody spends different amount of times in this denial, and it's also important not to make mistakes. So when the relationship is over and you're kind of, especially if it didn't happen where you know what happened and it's over with, you kind of get stuck in this or having a common mistake happen in this stage where you end up trying to connect back with the person. Because in your mind, you're not even sure if it's over or not. So you're kind of in denial. So you find yourself accepting the late night calls or the texts or sending them to your ex, which again is a part of the grief cycle and you should be aware of, right?
I'll be up in here shouting in a minute.
It reminds me of an Insecure episode.
It does. Second part of the grief cycle is anger. Okay, so once you get past denial or maybe somewhere in the middle of it all, it's normal to be angry at your partner. You resent them for causing you pain. You start to look back and think about everything that the person did wrong and you start to blame.
And all those other good dudes you could have had, I passed up for you, and you had the nerve to leave me.
And that's never true. We couldn't have had those people.
That is true. I done passed
We
up.
couldn't have had those people.
I promise you. Ladies, you know the guys, they have more money, they look better than he did, they have better jobs.
Then why did you choose him?
No, because I love him. I love you.
And let me give the proper, I guess, shout out to the venue that I'm getting this information from. It's a Livestrong article. So with the anger, what you need to do is don't send those hateful emails, right? Those texts. Just because you're angry, that doesn't mean you need to project it on other people, whether that be other people you're in relationships with or maybe even or your ex.
Oh, I found a good way to do this. See, you type the text or the email, but you don't send it.
Okay.
Oh, it's like you got everything you fill out. You get that anger out, then you go back and read it, and you read how crazy you sound. And then that is enough motivation to just go ahead and delete it. So you said it, you put it out there, they just never read it.
That sounds very therapeutic. Do you think at the time that most people are in that headspace to even do that?
Well, maybe because I like writing, like I proofread my work.
No. So, and I think we talked about it earlier, as far as there is also a certain level of maturity that you have to have in order to even get to that point.
That's true.
And what we're seeing now, especially this day and age, people are very emotional and they're reacting instead of responding to the situation. So I'm just how does one get to that point where they, you know what, let me pause and let me just write this down?
Well, let me qualify it. I think it depends on your level of hurt. Because I've never been married. I've never been divorced. I don't share kids with anyone. I don't think I've ever been heartbroken. I've been disappointed.
Wow.
So
you never been heartbroken? Maybe it looked different for you.
No.
Oh.
No. I mean...
Ooh.
Are you being a man over there?
No, I'm not. I think that a lot of times what we call a heartbreak is really disappointment. Now, when you walk in on your husband cheating with your sister, that's a heartbreak.
Ooh.
You know, when you come home and he didn't clean out your bank account, that's a heartbreak. When you go to your wife's job and your best friend is sitting there feeding her strawberries, that's a heartbreak. So I'm not at that level, or I've never been at that level. So it's easy for me to send a text because of a disappointment, and I'm upset because of the disappointment. And then when I read it, I'm like, it won't even matter anymore. I can erase that.
I think I'm a disagree with you just based on my own experiences, having been married, having been divorced. You're talking about these extreme moments when your partner has been caught being unfaithful. But for me, the heartbreak was when you take the time to build a life with someone. Like, we're purchasing this home together. We're raising a child together. We're making decisions about our lives and our present and our future together. And then all of a sudden they don't want it anymore. It's not disappointment, because now I have to adjust my heart. I have to deal with my son being affected by us breaking up. There's a split of property now that, we have to get the courts involved now. That's heartbreaking.
Well, that's why I said I don't have kids. I don't have a life with someone. So I think when you put different elements in it adds to it.
Can I ask this question to you, James? How easy, I'm going to just ask it generically, how easy is it for you to love someone? Or how easy is it, do you think that...
You mean romantically love someone? That was very hard.
And see, that's his difference. And is that on purpose, or is that just who you are?
I would say neither. I think that it's more so building a relationship with someone. I think that takes time, and I think love comes a long time after that. I've been in relationships, but I don't think it ever got to a point where I'm so in love with you, girl. Like, I will give you the moon. I will. So I don't get to the point where I'm going to be heartbroken, and it's not purposely done. And I'm not being a man. I'm not being a man because I see you over there. It's more so
I'm absorbing.
Disappointment comes easy because, well, like you said earlier, Sylvia, you've moved around a lot, and I've moved around a lot as well. So if you're in a relationship with someone, y'all aren't married, y'all are just dating. If she says, I got a job in Chicago, this actually happened, and she's expecting you to say, okay, so when are we moving? And I say, okay, so when are you moving? And in that moment, she's disappointed, which I understand, but we don't have enough time. We don't have love. We have a relationship, but we don't have a bond that's going to make me throw away everything.
You approach love based upon it, and I think this is what everybody does, but you approach love based upon your life experiences.
Well, I would say I approach love based on the amount of time and the bond you have with someone, and that takes a long time. Now, I can be
are you
in serious
a math major or something?
No.
I think that he's figuring out equations in his head.
I could be in serious
the probability of love.
Deeply care for someone. I could have a bond with someone, but I think love, it takes longer to build than what most people like. I saw someone in love with them. I'm just like,
man,
that's how I feel. So I've been disappointed, and it's easier to get over that disappointment. But there's someone who's been heartbreaking. That may take years. That may take, or they could be friends with that person and still be dealing with the heartbreak.
Right.
I've learned to love cautiously.
Right.
And in my current relationship, it was one of those things I threw caution to the wind, because after my breakup with my ex-husband, it was one of those situations I would date. I was like, oh, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Let's hang out. And then you get caught up in the newness of it all. Right. And then next thing you know, boop, 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 red flags. And my brain goes, no, get out of here. So with my current relationship, how it worked was we met on Facebook in a social group that we belonged to. And we shared a mutual friend. And he and I started, me and my guy started talking. It turns out, oh, you're friends with this person. So am I. Da, 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 da. And we like the same thing because I'm a big nerd. Star Wars, comic books, cosplay. That's my thing. And so he's the same way. And I'm like, uh-oh. And then he was stupid. And then he laughed every opportunity he got. And so we started talking in September. He came to visit me in October because he was living in New Orleans at the time. Came to visit me again in November. We were living together by December. And been together ever since. And that was back in 2013.
Oh, wow.
And as I stated, I'm in the middle of the longest breakup.
Wait, as you stated, off air.
Off air, excuse me.
Oh, so this is the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was a fairy tale ending.
No, I haven't had that yet.
Okay.
But, it's like now, I threw caution to the wind into entering into that relationship. But I'm realizing I should have loved a little bit more cautiously because I got caught up. And here we are, ending our relationship. And it's kind of can something be kind of sort of amicable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because we're not beefing. We're not, I can't stand you. Da-da-da. We get along. But it's just what it is.
So can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
So when you were saying earlier that you felt heartbreak from breaking up with your husband after building a life, do you feel heartbreak from this one?
I do, but it's different. My breakup from my ex-husband was devastating.
Right.
I mean...
Did he say he wanted a divorce?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he said.
Okay. And I'm like, well, you don't want me no more. You feel inadequate. You feel like I'm not enough. Especially if there's someone else involved. And, you're like, oh, my God. But that devastated me. I'm hurting. And it's more than disappointment. But it's not devastation. So I'm older now. I deal with things. I tell people all the time, if I can get over my ex-husband, I can get over anybody. So, I still love my guy. I still love him. But we're in different places. We want different things. And because we're peaceful, I'm transitioning instead of being shoved into this new phase in my life. I will tell you this, though. At 45 years old, the idea of dating again is terrifying.
But those are the ones who are dating, the people who are 40 and up.
What? Everybody's dating.
No.
Okay, can I segue into something? Because I know
this is a whole different other podcast. Y'all about to talk about.
No, I'm serious because it's like, okay, because my anger comes in not just because the relationship is over, but now you're thrusting me back into this place I don't want to be in, which is the dating pool. I don't want to date.
It sounded like it was fairly easy to find him.
That was a fluke. That was by accident.
Okay.
That's not something that happens every day.
Right.
I can't stand James. Seems like it was kind of easy for you.
James makes me want to, and I just met him. He makes me want to hug him and mush him at the same time. And he goes, "No, I've been disappointed. I've never loved." You're like, "Damn you, James!"
Just going back to a couple of other points about the grief cycle, the bargaining. In the bargaining phase, you'll try to restore your relationship and perhaps rebuild it as a friendship.
Jesus.
Okay. You should try anything you can to reclaim. You're going to try anything you can to reclaim your relationship. And one of the things or points that we're talking about is, that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Should you even continue to remain friends with your ex? Depression is a part of the grief cycle as well. It's normal to be sad. At this point in your grieving, you come to terms with the fact that the situation is not going to change. Use this time to reflect. You may even be alone at this time. But what you need to do is resist the temptation. And there are certain temptations that we kind of fall into when we're depressed, right? So the eating, not eating well, you may turn to alcohol, drugs, things of that nature to cope, using it to cope.
Other people.
Yes.
I like that one.
We know you do, Pasha.
Shots
The best way to get over your old
is to get under a new.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was shade.
And acceptance. No, this is a natural place to be in, especially when there was love.
Right.
Special relationships make you who you are. So in this final stage, you will begin to piece together what happened. You have to accept the breakup and acknowledge the part that you played in it.
That's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Acceptance
you are
is
at
awesome.
5.
I am at 5 because I went through all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly,
with him there
in my face,
Right, because you didn't.
you
Right.
looking at me.
I'm glad that you're being honest, but we talked off air.
right
So bring it to us for us full circle. So.
Okay. What was the first one? Denial?
Well, just the fact of as let me see, as censored as you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
You're going through a breakup at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to keep talking?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. You guys are actively still living together.
Yes.
And you're kind of at the end.
Yes.
So you are experiencing this.
Hold up. I was late.
yeah you missed this
You missed the off-air stuff, Sheneka.
Why y'all
Wait.
still live together?
That's what happens when you're late.
and that's
Okay.
what happens when you're grown, because when you're grown your breakups are different
Yeah.
than when you're
right.
19
Yes.
or
You're
20
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
It's okay. 4 years and some change in, leases signed, helping, raise his teenage child. We're together. And when you realize that you want different things and a person is comfortable, a person is not going to change who they are if they are comfortable
Right.
with who they are.
Mhm.
Okay? Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yep.
And what I've learned in dealing with him, and don't get me wrong, he's a wonderful person, because y'all know I clown
Mhm.
and he matches my clowning. But we want different things relationship wise.
Gotcha.
And so you try to deal with that and you're angry in his face. You're sad in his face. You're depressed in his face. And then there's acceptance in his face.
Oh.
Okay, everything gets done with an audience.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy part about it is
James over here.
I would in the world around other people, I'm strong Sylvia.
right
Sylvia's good.
Right.
Hey y'all, what's up? Let's tell some jokes. Let me tell y'all about my martyr ride at home.
What she's notorious for.
I'm drinking coffee in 85-degree weather.
Yeah, my own little personal summer. But at home, it was like I would come home and I would see this face who used to be my confidant
Right.
and who's now emotionally my antagonizer. And I'm like, I really want to stay friends with you, but part of me really wants to punch you in your forehead. And it's like, how do I do this? Because he used to be the person that I would come and share bad days with. But us breaking up is the cause of my bad day.
Wow.
So I can't share
That was
this with
deep.
you. And I'm not a very open person to the
Right.
point where you gonna know what's going on with me emotionally. So I had nobody. So I had to figure it out. And I'm like, Sylvia, when are you your best person? I'm my best person when I'm happy. I'm my best person when I'm active. I'm my best person when I'm creative. So I had to figure out how to get back to those parts of me and let that sadness go. What the ending of my marriage taught me was sometimes the why is not important. You may never get it. And you have to be okay with that.
Right.
And people are like, oh, but you need closure. I close my own doors now.
Right.
I love it.
I close my own doors. And I'm trying to sit here and say this without getting emotional. I'm getting a little goosebumps right here. But I have to heal myself.
Right.
And when I recognized years ago that my happiness was my own responsibility, it belongs to me. I had to do what I had to do for me.
Love it.
Sylvia trying to take us to church.
I know.
She said I was going to take y'all to church. She's taking us to church on this here good Sunday morning. So now I have a question, and we're going to talk about this particular question from a space of, because I'm a parent, Sylvia is a parent, James is not a parent, Sheneka's not a parent. So we're going to remove the fact of the baby daddy, okay, or the child's father. So we're going to speak about other dating experiences.
Okay.
Is it okay? Is it a need? Is it a must? Do you have to be friends with exes?
No.
No, not all the time.
No.
At any point in time, should that be a goal of no matter how amicable. Good.
Friendly.
See? So I wanted to use my SAT word. Do you have to? Is it a part of, I guess, getting older, being mature, things of that nature? Are there certain relationships that you feel like, oh, well, I can be friends with that person?
Absolutely not. That's not required.
Okay.
If you want to, but I don't think anyone should be forcing you.
I'm not friends with all my exes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
My first love, he and I are, hey, you good? Okay, take care.
Mm-hmm.
That was from way back in the day. But there are some people who, if the relationship was toxic, I don't need to be your friend. I'm not mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. And I want you to be cool with that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Godspeed.
But there have to be, I think there are some people that you just need to cut
Keep it-
out,
yeah.
cut out of your
Yes.
life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even if the breakup was okay and we came to the table and, it's not working. I think it's okay for you to send that person on their way.
Yeah.
Right.
No hard feelings. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Now, I hate family members who are notorious for inviting people, your exes who you don't talk to,
That was another thing.
functions, holidays.
So-
That's the big problem.
So now I'm going to ask this question as well. So you break up with an ex, and you may have to develop these lasting relationships with their family members. Do you maintain these relationships with your ex's family?
My cousin-in-laws love me. But as respect to my ex-husband, I'm not popping up at their house
Right.
at the cookouts.
Mm-hmm.
They keep up with me on Facebook and on Instagram. Hey, cousin, da-da-da-da-da. I just had one of them reach out to me. Her daughter will be attending Spelman in the fall. And she's like, Sylvia, you're going to be the only one there to look out for her. I'm like saying to myself, your cousin live here.
Mhm.
My ex-husband live here. But Sylvia, you're going to be the only one looking out for her. Make sure you keep an eye on my baby. Absolutely, cousin. I got you.
Right.
No worries. But I'm not popping up at the cookout.
Right.
And like, I look at my mom. I love my mom. If I don't like you, my mama don't like you. She gonna tell you that.
Oh,
I don't care.
It's
But that's
in
a
the
bit
family.
extreme. I mean, you can.
Mona Lisa don't play no games. Let me tell you something. She would be like, you hurt my daughter. I don't care what she did. She could have cleaned out your bank account and left. But she did that for a reason. And if she don't like you, I don't like you.
there was a reason.
I'm very much.
And I think a lot of friends are like that too.
Yeah.
But you want
they
your
think-
family to be like that. Yeah, it's more so friends now because your family will have them sitting in the house eating chicken and drinking Kool-Aid. And be
But
like,
if my-
talk to her. And I'm like, I don't
want to talk. There was a reason why we're
Yeah.
not together.
But you know what?
So-
Like before my grandmom died, and when me and my ex were breaking up, you know, he told my grandmom, he said, I know me and Sylvia are not together, but I'm gonna always look out for her.
Mhm.
My grandmom loved my ex-husband.
Mhm.
Loved him. And I didn't feel any kind of way about it. He would call her on her birthday, and I was totally cool with it. I guess because he and I are friends, it didn't bother me. But if I had like this messed up breakup with him and he hurt me, I probably would have felt some kind of way. But I don't think we have to be friends with our ex. I'm not wishing you walk into oncoming traffic. I just don't want you in my life.
So when the breakup happens, do you have the friend conversation? Like you keep your friends, I keep my friends.
No, we don't talk about that. It's just understood.
Not anymore. That's what I'm saying. Things are
Yeah, I
different
don't
now.
think people
Things are,
have those conversations.
and I think they should.
I think it's kind of understood unless it gets to the point where I'll say somebody's doing too much. Like there's or there's a new partner that's introduced.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, we need to talk about the dynamics of this, because if we break up and you're maintaining a relationship with a family member or a friend, I don't think it becomes much of an issue until you start dating again and you bring the new girl to the cookout.
Say
And
that again. I'm confused.
What
So
up?
if you break up with someone, right?
Mhm.
And that person is cool with, let's say you're a sibling or a cousin or whatever.
Right.
It may be an issue on a lower level. I think it becomes a major issue once you start dating again, and now you want to bring your new girl to the cookout into the group, and it's like, hold up, wait a minute, why is she here, or why is this person still there? When the new relationship starts.
I think I guess my dating experiences have been different. It's kind of like when we broke, right?
Right, yeah.
So friends get split up, or you make attempts not to be places when you know your ex is going to be there for the fact of we're over with at that point in time. So you need to pick a friend.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now
you gotta pick a friend.
You gotta pick a friend.
Yes.
What if they're mutual friends?
If
you need to pick a friend,
they gotta pick a side.
Yes.
Sylvia, jump in. Is that a sign of maturity or not?
It is. I think it is.
In my current situation, I don't have a point of reference because we didn't have group friends. He had his friends, and I had my friends.
Okay, that's good.
His friends knew of me. My friends knew of him. But we didn't all congregate together. So, because I wasn't splitting up none of my friends. And the way my girls work, I don't like you, they don't like you. That's just what it is. And though we wanted, I said to him at one time, I said, we don't have any couple friends where I have to do couple stuff. That's my couple's voice.
Okay,
couple stuff.
Say that one more time. I need to make sure. Say it. Because I like that.
I was telling him, I said, we don't have any couple friends, so we can do couple stuff. Like out to dinners and trips.
Double date.
We've never done that. We've never done that. And I'm like doing mental inventory. So the easy part of this transition is the fact that no one has to choose sides because it's already muddy when you're breaking up.
Right.
But then when you incorporate friends and you're forcing your friends to pick sides and stuff because they genuinely like him or his friends genuinely like you, you're like, y'all need to choose. And so now when I run into your boy in Walmart, he be like, what's up, Sylvia?
Right.
Keep on going. When just last month we up there dapping each other up, taking shots at the bar with the group. You know what I'm saying? I believe in keeping things as less complicated as possible because it's hard enough for me to deal with it on my own. I don't need other people. I don't need outside forces getting involved.
No new friends.
Right. Right.
So do you have that conversation with your family member? Or
yeah. You have to these days.
I think you do.
You have to because they'll be commenting on their Facebook or retweeting stuff on Twitter onto your timeline. And I'm like, whose side are you on? Because you really do have to ask people these days.
Right.
Because even today, I'm still upset that my homeboys talked to my ex-girlfriend at the military ball when I was a senior in high school. You just
still mad about that?
I am still mad about that. And when I see them, I keep it pushing. Just
you gotta let it go. Let it go.
No, not that. That was betrayal.
All right, Elsa.
That was betrayal. So, friends, we've kind of discussed that they need to pick a side and stay on the side, even though you can still like the person, but there has to be...
Just don't like them in my face.
Just don't like them in my face.
I mean, be nice, cordial. I'm not saying be mean to them, but don't be hitting them up. Let's go here, go there. Things like that.
Okay. Right. Don't invite them to the barbecue when you know I'm coming.
Especially if you know her through me.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So, are we giving exes second chances? And if so, what does that actually look like?
Girl, that's a mess.
I wish we could show Sylvia's face.
This should be a meme right now.
It should.
That's a damn mess.
So
I would say maybe.
Maybe, depending
on reasons why.
This is me, disappointment versus heartbreak. When the young lady moved to Chicago, she then came back about a year and a half later and moved closer, and we tried it again. So, I mean, the second chance was okay because we didn't break up because of heartbreak. You know, we were just at two different places. If your job is moving you, you go. You know, we know each other. We cool. We're dating. You may find your forever up there. And when you went up there for a year and a half and didn't find them and you wanted to come back, that's fine. That's great. Let's try it again.
Did you say that to her?
I said a lot of things.
And I believe you, James.
When it comes to dating, I'm so nonchalant. Like if because probably in about 3 or 4 days, I can say, yeah, this is not going to work out.
Ooh.
We can still go out, you know, but if you still looking for him, I'm still looking for her. But it's okay. If it's okay with me, if it's okay with you, I believe in being honest. And I believe within 3 days, you really know if you really feel you want to be with that person. Well, not 3 days. I would say 3 dates.
3 dates.
I would say 3 dates.
I would agree.
Yeah, so.
I would agree. You definitely know within 5 minutes if you're going to get somebody, so.
Yeah.
New podcast. Go ahead.
I look at it like this. When you get on a bike, right, and you want to make that bike go, which direction do you pedal?
Right. Forward.
How far are you going pedaling backwards?
No.
You ever been on no old school 10-speed?
Uh-huh. And you ain't going nowhere. You just cruising at that point in time.
And you thought you was doing it.
Exactly. I look at it as riding a bike.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to go forward. We're exes for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We broke up for a reason. And those same issues that we had, whether they were my issues, your issues, our issues, the same issues that led us to part ways are still present.
Yep.
Now, unlike your situation, James, that was an opportunity for her,
right,
professionally. You know what I'm saying? That was a career move.
Right.
It wasn't, I can't stand you, and I just got to move to Chicago to get away from you.
I don't ever get that though.
Yeah, because you're only disappointed.
Wait, no, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad, because I'm like, James, I don't think he really.
You see how a woman talk with an attitude? She started talking real fast.
Right.
Because one thing, James, what you understand is, but no, for me, it was like, okay, I want to move forward because I don't want to possibly feel that pain again.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get as far away from it on my 10 speed, moving forward as possible.
Gotcha.
And I can leave you in my background waving.
Yep.
And be okay.
Do you think, because I know a couple people personally and also I think celebrities too. I want to say, I hate to say his name, it's Steve Harvey. But due to time, so you might have dated someone, let's say when you were 20 years old and it didn't work out. And then maybe 15 years later or 20 years later, your paths cross again and whatever was going on at that time is now gone and past. Do you think that's something that factors in, and would you give that person a second chance? If you see that that person has evolved.
It would have to be a bomb-ass situation. And that's the best way I can describe it. This person would have had to, as you know, presently would have had to make an impression on me where who he was and who I was back 10, 15 years ago didn't matter anymore. It's who we are right now and who we want to become together. You know what I'm saying?
So you have to kind of be equally yoked at the time.
Exactly.
Or at current time.
Because we're different now, especially, you know, I hate to keep throwing my age in there, but age hopefully comes with wisdom. You know, wisdom comes with age. I'm 45.
And what you were looking for at 20
it's not what I'm looking for at 45. You know what I'm saying? I try to remove my romantic views because I'm a hopeful romantic. My Olin Mills post.
So am I.
You know,
shit.
You disappoint me, James. Anyway, I'm just like I try to remove that because I have these ideals in my head of what a relationship should be, but then reality goes tap tap tap. Sylvia, that ain't what happened last time, girl. Yeah, he was reading you sonnets, but he couldn't keep a job,
right?
And so I have to remove my romantic wants and put my realistic wants and needs in those places. So I'm open cautiously. I can't think of a person that I dated
that you would go back to.
That I would go back to.
Oh no.
I don't.
You said you can or
I can.
Like my first
Tiffany
love,
in 8th grade.
Who went to the military ball with your boy?
That was the 12th grade.
Pardon me.
What up? Like I'm saying.
That sounds like heartbreak,
no
James.
Heartbreak,
Not disappointment.
Just disappointment. You can get over disappointment. So
you still mad though, James?
There's actually one young lady who I dated, she got married, and if the marriage ever ends,
he up.
I'm just saying. Well, this was recently. She invited me to the wedding, and then the night before the wedding, she called me and asked if we could meet. And y'all seen Different World with Dwayne and Whitley. I think she wanted those situations where someone. I was like, no, you chose this man. And
you didn't stop her.
No, but this is the issue. He was a good dude. Like in all of my life, I've always seen these girls leave me and go down.
Right.
And I'm like, what were you thinking? Like you had. Now you just have. You feel what I'm saying? But with this dude, I was like, okay, what? Okay, it's okay. I see you, girl. Do it. I wasn't even, I wasn't even upset. I said, okay, y'all about to move where? Okay, I'm happy for you. Then when I saw her again, and she was like, we need to talk, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that tone. I'm like, no, I can't make the decision for you. And I just seen her a couple of more. I didn't go to the wedding. So she blocked me on Facebook. So I blocked her on LinkedIn. And I was like, okay, so we about to do this. Okay.
Petty.
So I saw her again and I'm just asking her, how are things? How is he? And she was like, just. And I'm like, I didn't want to say it. But in my mind, I said, if it don't work out. Because she was the one, I didn't love her.
Jesus Christ.
Because we weren't together long enough. But I wanted to be with her long enough to love her. It would have taken some time, but we broke up before then. But so I would go back and date one of my exes.
I never met someone with a clock on their heart, James.
Well, it's not a clock.
It's a scientific equation.
No, it's like cooking. Some dishes take longer to cook than others.
We'll call it like cooking rice, but they make boil in the bag rice too. That's ready in 10 minutes.
He don't want that. He want that old.
Because I love
that simmering.
I am my best self when I'm loving. Okay, and I'm not that chick that needs to be. I just want my man to spoil me. Yeah, I do, but I want to spoil him. Right. I look forward to spoiling somebody.
So you can spoil in the dating period.
I don't spoil during dating. I'm not cooking for you if you are not
That's
my
a
man.
whole nother podcast right there.
Wait. You can be dating your man. You got to earn your man while you learn your man.
Hold on.
Your man.
Understand something.
I'm understanding.
That's better, right?
Let me school you.
I was learning my man.
Sweet, for the way for me. Look! My words stuck right here in my larynx. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's with Betty.
Okay, let me tell you something. We're earning each other,
right?
And if I'm interested in you, I will actively date you. You're gonna get the best parts of me, and I'm gonna show you my not so great parts. So you go in, you can make an informed decision, but there are certain things I will not do for a man when I'm dating him.
Can you name a few? Because
okay, I'm not gonna run errands for you like I'm your wife.
She's not gonna do wifely things.
I'm not gonna do because to me, I'm not gonna do wifely things because to me that's applying permanent actions to a temporary situation. If we're not an exclusive couple, I'm not cooking for you.
Okay, I see what you mean. When I say dating, I mean exclusive.
Okay, so you got to put that word in front of me.
I don't believe in dating multiple people at the same time.
Okay, see.
Now, you can go out with people to get to know people, but I don't believe in if I'm going out with you on Friday, I can't go out with Latasha on Thursday because I can't afford both of y'all. Like, I can't buy both of y'all dinner.
So it's about his numbers, his equations.
And I can't see Shamika, not Shamika on Saturday. Because I mean,
right.
So that's what I mean.
Well, and I agree with you because to me, that's a quick way to end up serial dating.
Right.
You're like, oh, I like 2 things about her.
Right.
I like 2 things about her.
So
y'all gonna have to come back for another podcast because I don't think that there's anything wrong. Wait. This is another one. We ain't gonna talk about it on this one.
Okay. I'm about to say.
But now that we're kind of towards the end of the podcast, I know we've been talking for about almost 50 minutes at this point in time.
It's been an hour?
It's been 50 minutes.
Like we just started.
It's been 50 minutes. All right, so some tips to get over your ex. I got this information from eHarmony, but I put a Pasha B spin on it. Okay? They gave some tips. So one, you need to allow yourself to be emotional. James, you talked about, I guess from a societal standpoint, people kind of feel like they're a punk if they have feelings towards even if it's a short-term relationship or a long-term relationship. Oh, you dated him for 3 weeks. Oh, why you bugging? Because I can, right? You cannot put an emotional cap on how someone's going to react to an ending of a relationship. Right. So allow yourself to be emotional, right? Also, cut off contact. We talked about social media. Cut them off. All social media. She blocked you on Facebook. Good, you blocked her on LinkedIn. Because at some point in time, you have to set up those boundaries and those parameters. Cut them off. Do not try to be friends. Set your boundaries, your intentions. But I think a part of getting over your ex is the you. So don't worry about how someone else perceives about what you're doing. Yeah, we can't be friends. And it could be a temporary we can't be friends, but you have to do what you have to do in order to try to get past or get over the situation. Staying active. We talked about depression. And if you start falling into bad habits, bad ways, after you're over your ex, you still got that 20 that you got to lose that you done gained because you done sat in the house for 6 months, eating everything and doing all kind of stuff. Take advantage of your new freedom. So sometimes when you're the we, right, and you limit yourself to you can only do we things, and now that it's a you, so do those things. Your bucket list, go on trips, hook up with your friends, things of that nature, but get back to the I instead of we. Remember their faults. There's a reason why y'all broke up. Okay. So I'm not telling you to harbor or stay stuck on them, but you have to definitely be cognizant of what went wrong and what was wrong with them. And call up your homies. After it's all said and done, get back into the swing of things. Hang out with people, call up your homies, ponder possibilities, open yourself up to new relationships.
Not your legs.
Sometimes your legs.
Well,
Sometimes
another
podcast. But the rule of thumb is, don't get over somebody by getting under someone else, because then that's the rule of thumb.
James is like,
I know.
I don't know.
If you can compartmentalize and the person
differently,
you're absolutely right. So if you can compartmentalize and you're able to find someone who's willing to be a active participant in that act and know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get me some. All right, I'm just trying to get me some too. That's mature things. I think that's being an adult, but trying to get into a new relationship and not being honest with another person, that ain't cool.
Complicates things tremendously.
So in other words, if you just broke up with somebody, don't call the person who likes you just because you need some attention.
Absolutely.
Because that's kind of foul.
That is very foul.
That's
definitely not
foul.
the person that likes you.
Right.
But call that piece of meat. You know what I'm saying, Jay?
Okay, look.
He's shaking his head. He like,
different.
Let me put my radio over. Hey, boy. WYD.
Right.
Hey, big head.
Right.
For real.
No, I would just walk and find somebody. Don't.
Like walk in Whole Foods and be like, you gonna
point them out.
You
can do that in Atlanta.
I don't mean like you got to go have sex with that person, but someone you can, hey, how are you doing? Meet that person, because you don't want to get like a friend, and then that person may think that you have romantic notions toward them, and then you just needed someone to talk to or someone to make you feel better.
A release.
I'm so old school though. I'm like this. Like, I realize my social awkwardness at times. Like, I can talk to anyone, but when it comes to showing interest in someone that doesn't go any further than a physical attraction, it turns into where I'm normally like, hey, how are you? Would you like to go? And he looked like, are you slow? So I get really socially awkward, and then I inject my moral compass and, girl, you just can't sleep with that man. You don't really even know him like that. You don't even really like him like that. But it's good.
What did you say? We didn't say that again?
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
This PG, right?
Yeah.
This is PG.
Yeah.
Look, I done dropped like 3 F-bombs already.
I know.
And I don't know if you noticed,
she can say
the first one, I was like,
you did like a little shook. Like, wait,
I said,
what?
we doing that?
Right. We do that on here. It's Sunday, but we do that.
That's why I listen at all the podcasts.
Right.
Because I needed to know.
Right.
All right.
But yeah, I'm just really socially awkward when it comes to like just trying to smash. My brain is like, you don't do that. And I'm like, I don't?
Gotcha.
No.
All right, so we are definitely at the end of this particular podcast. We want to thank James and Sylvia for joining us today.
Was fun. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hopefully they will come back for another.
Yes.
I got some stuff.
You got some stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Real Talk with Pasha B supports art and those that create it. If you are an artist wanting to be spotlighted, please send information to info@ordinarypeoplemedia.com. Again, that's info@ordinarypeoplemedia.com. Until next time, y'all gonna say peace?
Peace.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.